Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are, whenever you've tuned in. I'm your host and your local shaman, Lady Lighthouse, and welcome to the Light Network. How was everyone's day? Spirit's been lots of fun today for me. And I was laughing because, I remember yesterday whenever I streamed in the evening, I was like, oh, I'll do an afternoon stream tomorrow. I'm gonna go dancing and call it a day. And then I kind of got up and I did my morning journaling, and Spirit was like, no, we got other plans for you today. So, here we are. And I'm also realizing that my microphone is really, it just keeps maxing out on me. I don't know. Hopefully it sounds okay. And if it doesn't, we'll figure it out. Anyway. Hey, Robin, good to see you again. But yeah, so like I said, I was gonna come on, I was gonna do an afternoon stream, or when I went to bed last night, I had every intention of waking up today, doing a little bit, and then streaming in the afternoon. And I did my morning journaling about kind of what, and my morning, bring it back. I've just started doing this more so in the last week or so, kind of really with vacation, journaling a bit more. And my journaling is really just me channeling my guides and just having a conversation with them, kind of like what I did that automatic writing on stream last week. And so I started doing that to just kind of check in to be like, what feels like with some of the new boundaries we put in place, what feels in alignment today, or where should I spend my time, my energy, and my gifts today. And yeah, and it was funny because at first they were like, you need to do plants, you need to repot your plants. And I did half of them a couple months ago, and I was like, all right. It's well, after that, what do I do? And they're like, well, I need to take my dog to the vet. So which she's fine, is just her allergy shot, her steroid shot to help with her allergies. And then they're like, you should stream. And I was like, what time should I stream? They're like, 8 p.m. I was like, all right. And then I was like, what do I do for the rest of the day? They're like, whatever brings you joy. So they're like, work on a puzzle, eat some food, eat whatever you want. And so that's kind of what I did. I did the plants. I repotted the other half of my plants. I gave away probably a dozen or so plants and cuttings because it's just like I had so many. And really, it felt so good to not only give some of them away because, like, I posted on our like neighborhood Facebook page and they were picked up within like an hour. And also, it just felt good to like clear the energy, clear up the space, because some of the plants that I gave away, it's just like they were kind of my troublesome plants. Like they're ones that definitely require more time and energy, and I just wasn't giving them what they needed. So it was nice to free up that space. And it was funny when I was telling my husband about it over dinner. He's like, are we gonna have to start getting like tchotchkes or whatever? Because we have like these two shelves in our living room on the both sides of our fireplace that I had filled with plants, and now there's lots of empty space on it. He's like, are we gonna have to get like little trinkets and things? And I was like, nah, probably just get some crystals for the shelves. So, but right now it's just like keeping just like the open space there, the extra space there is just nice to have pretty much mostly easy plants. Like I think I only have like one or two high touch plants, and we're hanging on to them for right now. We'll see if I end up nixing them too. But oh, it's fine for right now. It was a good energy clearing of like getting rid of some of the plants, getting like changing up the order of where they were in the house and in the space, and just I don't know, breaking up the stagnant energy that was moving through. And so like that gave me some other like inspiration and things to do today. So I have some other things in my mind that is in the works. And I also did some more reading, journaling, meditating. I've read, I got this book called The Prophetess. Hold on, let me grab it since it's on my mind. So whenever I was going through my potential separation at the end of the last year, I had a good friend of mine at the time gift me this book. And I got it, but I didn't feel compelled to, like, I didn't feel like it was the time to read it, but this is the book, The Prophetess. And it's not based on, but it apparently is related to a book called The Prophet that was written by some person, Khalil Gibran's classic 1923 book, The Prophet. So this is supposed to be like a homage to that wisdom, and it's... Hold on. It just basically like... You know, I've only read like 15, 20 pages of it, so bear with me here. But from my understanding is it's a collection of poems, like channeled poems, kind of about the prophetess. Or like the idea that the return of the prophet is potentially, instead of it being a male figure, it's a feminine figure. And so I read the introduction and the foreword. I skipped the first chapter because it just didn't feel like that was what I was meant to read today, or like I was whenever I'm trying to read something, and if I go through like the first page of it or first page and a half and I'm like, I can't connect with the words, that's usually my sign of like, okay, probably shouldn't read this right now, or it's not for me to read right now. But I did feel like I needed to read a few things from this today. It's just not... There's the very first chapter after the introduction, I was like, no. But I read stuff about the awakening, and I read stuff about vulnerability, or like the poem about vulnerability. And I'm like, I don't know, maybe I'll just share a couple highlights as we're just hanging out. So, Do I want to? Yeah, I'll do this. Okay, so the first part, talking about awakening, and they say, I starred this one and put a little bracket, and it's like, have you heard the caterpillar's shriek of resistance as some bigger force unwelcomely impels it to eat its own form while disclosing nothing of those secret wings? It says the process of awakening is to be able to fully feel rather than flee. They also talk about, they liken awakening to, they say, it is diving into the cracks in our hearts rather than mortaring them and staying long enough to build kinship with all that was once unbearable inside of our own self. It is to commit with all our hearts to no longer take out our helplessness on anyone else. And we're all on our way towards coming out of the sleep cycle. So good. So good. And the chapter on vulnerability, even there, it's like the second sentence is, vulnerability is bravery incarnate. Chills. When I read that, it was just like, my whole body tingled. Vulnerability is bravery incarnate. And to sacrifice means to make sacred. The expression of vulnerability is the process of self-liberation. Our access to divinity is as deep as our access to humility. Intimacy is vulnerability's jewel. Oh, here's this. This one I actually posted on my Instagram or on my other socials, and it's, embrace the God who prefers to fall to his knees and weep over the God who wants to posture his frailties as wrath. And I love that that's on page 13, because my guides are the 13 beings of light. Embrace the God who prefers to fall to his knees and weep over the God who wants to posture his frailties as wrath. So I haven't actually read the Gabrin Classic, but I got the Prophetess book from a friend of mine back whenever she gifted it to me I think for Christmas, but it was like during my time of separation, and I only finally today I felt like the book fell off my shelf. And it felt like it was calling me to read certain, like a couple chapters or a couple little spaces from it. So I'm just kind of sharing some highlights. Oh my god. I just saw so much lightning in the distance. Okay, let me read this other little section because it's just so good. Okay, so it says, actually I'm just going to read this whole little paragraph because it's just so beautiful. It says, in vulnerability, our humanity and our divinity are redeemed in each other. The heart, when opened honestly, becomes a sanctuary for all humanity that gives rest to the terrible burden of loneliness. The blunt and sobering truth is there is no path to deep relational satisfaction outside of the path of the open heart. The only way to know and be known, and to have the possibility to trust and be deeply trusted, is to share both the divine and the destitute, the ravishing and the unruly, the holy and the hollow inside of us. And I was like, as I was reading that, there was just like lightning in the distance. It was so freaking cool. Hey, Moulier. I'm reading a couple things from The Prophetess. So it's actually like, this was published at the 100-year mark of the original, like, The Prophet. So it's almost like what did she say it was? It's an homage to Gabron's book. So it's basically the idea of like, what if the prophet, whoever is going to return, was actually a woman? And then I circled this sentence that was, "Alas, we win nothing from shielding our hearts from each other." My dears, vulnerability can be terrifying, but we must learn to go, like a dark prayer, down and in to find the taproot of our truth. You've been posting work from Mirrors of the Soul past few weeks. Yeah. Let me make my little note. Mirrors of the Soul. No, I'm not a big reader typically, but I do enjoy, like, when I get called into something, I'm like, ooh, I get really deep in it. This is like one of my not problems, it's not really a problem, it's just more of a, like, one of my things whenever I've read books or series in the past is like, if I'm not, like, if I can't get into it right away, like, I just, within the first couple pages, like, I just won't read it. But the books that do hook me, I obsess over. And I will read it until it's done within, like, this. Basically, I'll read it as quickly as I can possibly read it, not write it. But I also think it kind of has something to do a little bit with, like, I honestly think it has something to do a little bit with, like, channeling too, because it's like those books that really pull me in is like, I feel super deeply connected to the character that I'm reading, and it feels like, it's like I feel the emotion, I feel the life, I can see the life, I can see whatever it is that's happening. I welcome the recommendations. But yeah, that's what I got out of this so far. It's only 116 pages. There's a little bit on the back about the author, but they're just a collection of poems about different topics. So it's topics, we have awakening, vulnerability, truth, feelings, intimacy, relationship, love, the feminine, sin, prayer, religion, God, suffering, grief, death, marriage, desire, joy, anger, shadows, sensitivity, surrender, self-worth, creative expression, forgiveness, transformation, the time of the beginning. Mind you, I didn't read The Prophet, so I don't know if that's how that one is structured. But, so if you have read it, and that's how it's structured, very cool. I have been reading a little bit more of Saved by the Light, but I want to save that conversation for a separate stream, a separate book conversation. But I did read an additional chapter since I got back from my trip. I read it yesterday, but I've actually like been integrating all of that came through from that reading. So what's the synopsis of that book, Milier? Or like what's the one-liner? Yes, please. And Retro, when you say you've been posting work, how do you mean? Like the video of, or like the different video scenes, like sceneries that you do, or something else? What kind of book is it, Milier? Is it a, like, fiction, non-fiction, novel? And welcome into any lurkers, lingerers as well. Glad to have you. All right, I feel called to, while you're typing, while you all might be responding, I feel called to read one of the poems, the next one, which is on truth. So I'm gonna record it, or not record it. I meant to say, like, I'm going to, like, I don't know. I will read it. That's what I. But I was making a stream marker. That's what I was gonna do. Okay. So it's a short little poem. It's only, or little prose. It's only like 2 pages max. And they're short pages. So, it says, "Speak to us of truth," and the prophetess spoke. "There are worn-out social conventions that desperately need to be destroyed by whatever truth is in your heart. The specific flavor of truth tonic kept hidden in the apothecary of your chest is exactly the medicine this world needs. It is time to bring it forth. You, my dear, are good medicine, and the truths within you have been prescribed for this time. Truth is a sacred interruption of conditioned blindness, and empowers everyone and enables no one. Truth leverages nothing against anyone and calls people up into all they might be. We are all healers and creators by being our truest selves. Unspoken truth is at the base of all of our relational pain. Unspoken truth is at the base of all worn-out patterns we would rather maintain than transform. To bring truth forward moves us from self-preservation to self-transformation. It bursts through unstable foundations that could only hold the unsustainable. Truth is the supreme liberator, and what liberates one supports the liberation of all. To liberate means to free our hearts from a limited bondage of conditional love. What is unspoken within us contains us. Cultivate a thirst for truth that nothing else can slake. In alignment with our truth, the reeds of our destiny quiver with the music of the cosmos. The path of truth is our redemption, our renaissance, our resurrection, and our remaking. It clarifies our essence. Truth is unconquerable. It is powerful, without any desire to overpower, and in its absolute dominion, it requires no defense. What is untruthful is unsustainable. For what is sustainable will last, and what will last will ascend, and what will ascend is the powerfully authentic expression of life that is beneficial to the flourishing of all. While truth can bring the discomfort of shaking you out of the comfortable narcotic of falsity, truth never harms. Truth restores us with the most personal and universal intimacy with our essence. Walk with truth, and let others be invited to deepen themselves in their reception of you. We all need to take the sword of truth from its sheath of silence. It is time to slay illusion, not with violence, but with the blade of clarity, of discernment. Truth is ever only wielded. Oh my gosh. Truth is ever only wielded in the name of and by the hands of love. Truth germinates our reality to break through the hard seed of our conditioning. It calls forth our potential. If love is the beauty of the flower, truth is the boldness that brings it to continuously reveal more of itself. You said there are little tales, like voices of time, little tales talk about the universal feelings, mixing them with history. That's really cool. Is it all in, what language would that be? Spanish? Is it all in Spanish? Is it, or... Okay. Yeah, I saw that he was from Uruguay, but I guess I wasn't sure if there was a different language other than Spanish down there that I was just not familiar with. Reading that here, granted that was off the cuff, reading it for the very first time without having, read that passage before. Reading that on the stream reminds me of when I was in middle school. We had a thing called forensics, but it's not the forensics that you think of when you think of like crime scene investigation. It was like public speaking, and I did readers theater whenever I did it, and I did it for 2 years, 3 years. And I think I did it 2 years, and it was just so much fun because readers theater is basically like you get to choose like a short story or a passage or something that you want to read, but you practice it so many times that it's like you perfect where the enunciation is, and also you're performing it in front of an audience and in front of the judges, and so you're also doing a little bit of like animation in your face and your gestures and your movements. And so I did it both years with another woman, a friend of mine, and it was just so fun. I think I found, I don't remember if my mom still has them, but I remember like finding my old like ribbons and stuff from them before. Like I think that's one of the few things I saved from my childhood, were like the actual pieces of paper from the stories that I did. And that's just kind of been coming up in in my awareness the last couple days is just kind of thinking about Reader's Theater and thinking about, I don't know, using my voice and my voice being healing, or like speaking healing with my words, because one of the things, I mean, I channel energy all the time, uh, and my intention is always to share love, light, and healing energy. And I know our voices are powerful. Our voices can be can share healing. And I'm only pausing because it's getting really windy outside, and the tree was looking kind of intense there. So we usually don't have issues with power going out where I'm at, but I guess this will just be my cautionary warning that is a potential, I think. I don't know. Let me look at the radar real quick. I didn't realize it was supposed to storm tonight. Most of our power lines are underground where I'm at. And if it ever does go out, we're probably one of the first to get power back because we're on the same transformer as EMS and the police station. It looks like it's going around us. There are some storms coming through, but it looks like the bulk of it's gonna avoid us, so we should be fine. It'll be fine. Anyway, yeah. I don't know. I like public speaking. I like public speaking. I was thinking about acting recently just because the cruise, I saw a bunch of shows, and while I think I could act and I think it would be somewhat fun too, I think if I became an actor or actress, since I identify as a female, if I became an actress, I think that would, if anything, hurt my credibility as a shaman, which I want to be identified as a shaman first and foremost. I felt some weird sensations when I said that, so I was just kind of checking in. I don't know. Maybe, and I don't know if that's a limiting belief or not, but there is a part of me that's oh, because I always think of the skeptics of okay, I already I don't deal with a ton necessarily, but I'm not naive to what the skeptical mindset would be, given the fact that I had to work through it to get here. So I know I have a pretty good sense of what those feelings or thoughts might be. And I'm if I decided to go into acting, would people then see what I did outside of that and be well, she's just acting? But if I was a really terrible actor, they'd be well, she sucks at acting, so if she truly believes what she's doing here, well, then that's got to be legit. Does it work both ways? I don't know. Just thoughts. I get lots of dreams and visions and whatever else. Even when I was thinking about this the other day in the shower, where I feel like I am someone who, I don't know when I adopted this belief, but I'm grateful for it. I'm here for it. But I am someone that if I see someone do something, probably 9 times out of 10, I'm I could do that. Maybe not at this exact moment, but I'm I could figure out how to do that, or I could I could go through the schooling or whatever, like training or whatever it is, like I could do that. Where I have to like stop myself is be like, just because I could do that doesn't mean I need to do that, or doesn't mean I should do that, or doesn't mean that that is meant for me to do. But I like to play out the scenarios in my mind of like, okay, I could have became a veterinarian. I thought about being a vet for a little bit of time there back in high school, and that is, I love animals, but I couldn't do it. Not because it doesn't even have anything to do with the pay, it just has like everything to do with my ability to like feel an animal's suffering. And I just would not be able to handle that every day. um, yeah. And I'm like, I went to school for engineering. I'm like, I started off in civil engineering and then I switched to biosystem and agricultural engineering, which is more of like environmental engineering. Um, it's like, yeah, I could have became an engineer that, like, I got my degree, but I could have become like a professional engineer where I like stamp the drawings and be like, yes, this is safe to, I have done the calculations, this is safe to build or construct or whatever. Um, but I didn't want to do that. Like, I got my degree, but I did not. I knew while I was in engineering school that I was like, I don't want to be a professional engineer. I don't know. I just felt like I, at the time, wanted to be in engineering, just not, or have the engineering background, just not be an engineer, or a professional engineer in that sense. And even when I was in my like MBA school, I don't know, I knew I wanted to go, or I knew I would probably, I knew I wanted to own my own business one day. I just didn't know what, or like what that would look like. Yeah, you just get the layers of it, peel back one at a time, a little bit at a time. I don't know where I was going with that. I lost my own train of thought. But that's okay. Flash of lightning. Oh, I think I was just kind of talking about like readers' theater and just thinking about just and the thunder roars, and just thinking about where, like, what I would want to do, where I'd want to go. I also am someone that I like love. Like, I'll try almost anything once. Like, I really, yeah, I really enjoy just kind of like trying out different things, testing new things, eating new foods, like having new experiences and being like, at least I can say I tried it. And be like, so I have a lot of like one-off experiences. um, and so I can tell you like for certain of like, yeah, oh yeah, I've done that. That's all right. Or maybe you don't need to do that one. I mean, you could try it. Okay. But I feel like I encourage other people that if you have the chance to try it, like if you are afraid of something or curious about something, try it, like explore it. If you can. Why not? So that's what I'm doing. I'm exploring where my gifts and things are gonna take me. Letting the energy flow. Gosh, the storms. So cool. I like when they're in the distance. Up close, not so much. Uh, I am open to doing like readings and offerings tonight, and so feel free if you want to claim your one free card use your spark points there. We have 3 days left. We've got 95% of our community challenge. So, to get the Ask the Ancestors. And oh my gosh, speaking of asking the ancestors, why does this make me want to cry? I've had 2 thoughts now. Okay, let's see I don't want to lose my train of thought. Okay. The first one, speaking of the ancestors, when I was repotting my plants earlier today, the moment, like, I got all of my plants outside on a table so that way I could start repotting them, and I had them separated which ones I was gonna, yeet to strangers and which ones I was gonna keep. And as soon as I started working on them, a dragonfly that had like black and like clear wings landed right on the corner of the table and just like paused there for a minute or two, like not 2 minutes, but like it paused for a long time, or what felt like a significant amount of time. And I like saw it, and when I saw it, I got this feeling of like, I don't know, it brought me a lot of joy. There was like a feeling of warmth, a feeling of comfort, a feeling of like, we see you, like you're doing it. You're right where you're supposed to be. Like that was kind of the feeling that came over me. And then it like faded away, like it flew away. And I was like, I've never seen a dragonfly of that type in my yard before, in my area before. This is now, I've seen a dragonfly flying around yesterday too, but it was a different one. They fly around whenever I'm like, if I journal by the window, they'll start to kind of come by the window. And I'm just like, where are all these dragonflies coming from? But I say that in relation to the ancestors because the way I view dragonflies and the symbolism or symbology for me with dragonflies is that they represent past loved ones and or ancestors. So I think that they represent more like ancestors for me. Past loved ones, I have different things that come forward for them. So like my grandma and grandpa my grandma and grandpa on one side of the family, they come through as like a male and female cardinal pair. I about just said that right out loud. That's funny. But yeah, I had something else happen of significance. This isn't what I was thinking of, but I'll share this one too while people are just hanging out listening to me chat, because apparently I'm feeling chatty tonight. 2 things. Okay. I have 3 things that I want to tell you all about. One of them I don't remember, but I know it's there. The first one is right before I was coming upstairs to like get ready to stream for you all / stream for myself, just get on Twitch. I walked into the kitchen to get some more water, and my husband came behind me, and he stopped and like looked down the hallway, and he's like, you're seeing this, right? And so I like backed up and looked down the hallway, and I was like, and on the ground there was like a little fur dirt devil, dust bunny type of, we got dogs, if you don't keep up with it all that much, then you get fur. But there's this little clump of fur just in the middle of the hallway, just swirling in a circle. It was just swirling in a circle. And I just started laughing. I was like, man, Spirit's got jokes today. Like, and I'll share more things, but it was just so funny because it's like, I don't know what sort of airflow, I've never seen that happen in that hallway before. But it was just such a funny just a funny happenstance. Thank you for the follow, Blue Moss Dragonite. Uh, my husband's like, he's like, man, I thought I was losing it there for a second. And I was like, who's with us? Like, this is fun. And I had a good little giggle before I came upstairs. Rewinding it to this morning, not this morning, this afternoon, um, we got a delivery. And that's not anything new or exciting, but we got a delivery. And the person who showed up was in a U-Haul van. And they didn't have a vest or anything on, but they delivered a box, and it looked like an Amazon box or an Amazon package. Again, not to be like, not too unexpected, but not necessarily like identifiably Amazon. And then before I took our dog to the vet, I went and I grabbed the package off the porch. And I stopped and looked at it because it was, hold on, it was a CoComelon toy box. Mind you, hold on, here's the image, or like what the box is. I know it's probably horribly washed out, but it's fine. It was a CoComelon toy box in the shape of a school bus. Mind you, we don't have kids. We did not order a CoComelon toy box. We did not plan to make a gift of it for anyone. We checked our cards, our charges, and everything. Didn't order it. Have no charges for it. And I was just cracking up because my husband had been a little sad the last few days, and that's okay. But I just loved the idea, even though it's like, I don't know, I just love the idea of Spirit being like, you're upset. You know, we know what's gonna make you feel better. Here you go. CoComelon toy box. And it made me chuckle. It was just so good. It was so good. I was like, abundance comes in so many ways. You just gotta be open to it. He was able to see. I will say that he did see that it apparently was supposed to be cat litter was supposed to be delivered, but no, CoComelon toy box. Oh, that's good. That's good. You love it. You'll love to see it. You'll love to hear it. I know I had one other thing that I wanted that was like coming to mind before the dragonfly. There was some other cool synchronicity, something or another that had happened. I think. I can like vaguely picture it, but I can't, like the picture's not, it's like right there. I just can't quite pull it out. It's fine. You said no box self-fit. Well, this box definitely has the CoComelon toy box in it. There's not cat litter in that box. But I do get it. I do get it. There has been times that we've gotten things in weird boxes before, but they were what we ultimately ordered. I don't know. That's a good time. It's just, it humors me greatly. Whenever I was in college, I worked at Amazon. I did work at Amazon at one of the fulfillment centers, and I was a picker for, I mean, I think I only did it a couple months, and then I quit in a, teenage fashion of basically being like, hey, I need to have surgery. And then I never really wanted to go back, and they never put me back on the schedule. It was like an informal quit. And I think just after me not being put on the schedule for some amount of time, that like they finally closed my employee like account. It's like, yeah, that's probably for the best. But let me tell you, working as a picker those are long days. I think we did 10-hour days, and you get 2 15-minute breaks and one, I think it was a 30-minute break for lunch, if I recall correctly. But it's like, I think I would walk about 10 miles a day in the warehouse. And the thing there is, like, you don't have... It's not like working in an office or whatever where you can just, like, put in your headphones and listen to music or a podcast or watch videos while you're doing it. Like, you weren't allowed any of your electronics on the floor because you have to go through, like, a metal detector when you, like, come out. And they don't want you to, obviously, steal the merchandise. And so it's... At that time in my life, that was a lot of alone time with my thoughts. I would sing a lot, just randomly going up and down the different aisles, picking. That was an interesting time. I will say I did enjoy the only part I liked was picking books, because all the books were in like one area, and you could pick a lot of them at a time, and like fill your bins pretty full with books. And so it was really easy to make your picking rate whenever you were in the book section. But whenever you were in the large item section where you could only fit like one item per bin at a time, rough. Yeah. That makes sense, Robin, given the fact that you were shipping water skis. Yeah, it was... I don't know. It was a time. I mean, I'm glad I did it. It was definitely information. It was definitely an experience. Gave me some insight into how, like, the supply chain and those worked. Because it actually helped me, because when I did my MBA, we worked with a company, when I worked with a nonprofit for the year that I was doing my MBA, and we were doing different projects for them, and one of our projects was it was like a food, like a part of Feeding America, so it was like a food distribution company, like nonprofit. And part of one of our projects, one of the semesters, was on like supply chain, and we helped redesign the flow of like their food goods to help like improve like their picking speed and like the shipment of being able to like bring the food in, streamline the process of like where things should be organized, to try to help move the product, move the inventory out quicker to the communities that needed it, and also so it wouldn't go to waste. So it's fascinating. I like picking up knowledge about random things. Like, I watched a lot of like how it's made growing up, and a lot of Mythbusters. Is anyone else familiar with Mythbusters or how it's made? You said you bullying your coworkers is where you're meant to be right now. I don't know if I condone bullying, but you know, I'm glad you enjoy your work. uh, yeah, I loved Mythbusters growing up. I think about it. I was gonna say I think about it a lot, but it's like I don't know. It just comes up to in my mind at random times. The one that comes to mind right now is like the sneezing episode of like if you like sneezing, it's like sneezing with your eyes open, like your eyes would pop out. Um, yeah, it's just I've been thinking about, and maybe that just kind of with the whole science mindset is like, yeah, I always think about how. Let me think. What do I want to say here? With my science background or engineering background, it's like I found kind of the truth, the validity, and also a balance with my spirituality. Um, and also, my husband is not in the spiritual community at all. He works in software and works very, and is still very skeptical, which is, I think, really good for me too, because it helps keep me grounded, but it's also helps me think about how to communicate with others in that community. And in that community, I mean, how to communicate with others who are more like logical minded, more science minded, more like I need facts, data, etc. Because I was that way for quite some time, and then I kind of was like, all right, well, I had enough personal experiences and I've read enough papers and done enough study on my own. Then I'm like, yeah, I'm good. Like I believe this. I'm in it. I'm here. um, but I do think about that when it comes, or I do think about the science side and the data side of like, because I also did research back in college too. I think about how could I design an experiment, or how could I be a part of some form of research to help provide potential validity to what it is I'm doing, we're all capable of. Like I don't know. I've I've tried reaching out to different places. Like I tried reaching out to um oh, was it Stanford? No, that's California. There was someone up in New York that was like a like psychiatry type of um, school, and I'm blanking on it now. But I had read a paper that they had put like some published around like psychosis and like mediumship, or like those that are able to control kind of channeling. And I reached out to them to be like, can I participate or hear my thoughts or whatever? And I heard back from one department, and they put me in touch with the one that actually like did the research, and those people never got back to me. So you know, your girl's open to research. As long as it's not me being thrown into a government jail, prison, and I'm being like tortured, I'm open to to science. Okay, let's see. Dealer's choice. Dealer's choice. We're going we're going back to the love deck. You get to see Freya. Oh, of course. I'm opening it from the bottom again. Hold on. It'll focus. It'll come back. That's Freya. She hangs out with me often. She follows me around the house everywhere I go. My other lady is on the floor on the other side of my desk. Her name is Echo. She also follows me around pretty much everywhere I go. I will say that was the interesting part about going on vacation a week and a half ago, is we dropped the dogs off at their like little boarding place, like a puppy, not necessarily a puppy spot, but like they have a big area, outside area to run around multiple times a day. Wow, that was a terrible shuffle. And we had to drop them off in the morning, and then our flight wasn't until the afternoon, and then even when we came back, we had some amount of time, like half a day, without them in the house. And it's weird, like for me, I'm so used to just being constantly followed everywhere I go in the house by my two puppy ladies, that like when they're not here and that's not happening, I'm like, what? It's what is life? To walk around and not be to have them in tow. Alright. I don't know why it doesn't want to focus. Let's see. There we go. Whatever is in the highest and best for Robin. Okay. Trusting that those two wanted to pop out. So you got two. Congrats. Spirit's out here treating you these last 2 days. First things first. 8 of Cups. Highest and best for Robin. So here's the card. And my eyes are really drawn to like the sun. Kind of the facial expression up here. Like, I get a little bit of... Like, I kind of get a little bit of, like, a deadpan look of just, like... But I also can feel, like, a peace and calmness, where the face is more like a... Like that smiling emoji with the eyes closed of just, like... Like a little bit of blissed out. Oh yeah, good camera quality happening right now. All right, there we go. Okay, moving on to the next. So, just the face of the sun. And the other card that popped out for you is the Page of Swords. Here's the full card. My eyes are really drawn to the sword itself. Not the handle, but the actual blade of the sword. I say the blade of the sword, and then the little like twinkling, I think they're probably birds, but it's kind of like this twinkling days over the top of the head. Almost like the cartoon where you get like knocked out. They're like they get bonked, someone gets bonked on the head, and there's like the like doo doo, like little bird noise and like the little sparkles or whatever are going around the top of the head. I don't know what that means for you, but it's kind of funny. Well, let me see, is there any more to share for Robin here? Yeah, what else is there? Just watch your head. Yeah, there's just a. This almost feels like a silly, goofy warning, though. It's like, watch your head. Don't bonk your head. Watch your head. I'm trusting that this is making it to you in whatever way you're meant to interpret this. Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and send your energy back to you now. Call my energy back to me. You said, is that in general or in regards? General. This is general. And this one's love. Okay. Send your energy back to you. Call my energy back to me. Thank you for sharing your time, energy, and gifts. Good question, too. You're welcome. It makes me wonder if like you're gonna be at work and like something's gonna fall, or like you're gonna go downstairs and there's, you know, a low ceiling or something like that. But I don't know. Like with the sword, like the blade of a sword. I don't know. Yeah, I'm just... The blade of the sword feels connected to the head. Alright, go grab some food. But yeah, it's probably related to something sharp, something there. Alright. Anyone else popping in? Welcome. Lurkers, lingers, newbies, returners, my loves. Glad to have you. I'm your local shaman, Lady Lighthouse. And while you're just popping in, pointing out that we are doing a community challenge. There's 3 days left, and you're at 95% of the way there for the Ask the Ancestors challenge. So we only need about 1,400 more spark points. Is that right? Did I do the math right on that? Yes. But also, if you're just popping in, you can claim 1 free single card pull per stream. I will say if Spirit blesses you with a second one, then I will read both of them. Like if they have 2 pop out. Yeah, welcome in, Operator Papa. Ask the Ancestors. So I'll be doing. It's basically. I'll probably dedicate about an hour to it, but I'll basically channel general guidance from Spirit and our ancestors for the community. So it's not going to be like an individual reading, but you can come into the chat, and if you want to ask Spirit any questions about anything for the community, we gotta reach it. And then once we do, I'll like plan a day. Yeah. So that way it can hopefully be, which it'll probably still be like fairly close to whenever we reach the goal. So I don't know, maybe we can reach it before Thursday, and our Thursday night stream can be Ask the Ancestors. I don't know, tossing that out there. They've been pretty prevalent recently. But other than that, like you can get a card with spark points, you can save up your spark points and get a mini Reiki session, you could save up your spark points and get an intuitive reading with the spark points, which the intuitive readings are more of like an 8 to 10 minute mini session that if you don't want to save up your points, those are more they're donation based, so they're either donating to the tip page or gifting 2 or more subs to the community to claim those. So but I did want to make it possible for people to get a reading if they might not be in a financial place to be able to afford it, but want to support me with their time. So thank you. And thank you for the follow. We're so close. 96%. That'll be good. I'm excited. But yeah. Have you you gotta claim it with the spark points. Yeah. But if you just accidentally gave away all of your points towards Ask the Ancestors, there might potentially be someone in here who might be willing to gift you one. Maybe, potentially. I know Robin sometimes does, but she also might have just stepped away to get food. Oh, I was just gonna ask how long have you been lurking? I know this is your first time in the chat, but is this your very, very first day over here at Lady Lighthouse? Well, welcome. What questions do you have for me? Like, I'm very much I'm an open book, and if there's something you ask me that I'm like, I'm not gonna answer that, I'll let you know. But yeah. Reading on Twitch or just reading in general? Because I've only been on Twitch since May. Yeah, in general, reading tarot, I've only I didn't get my first tarot deck until last fall. No, that's not true. Hold on. I got my first tarot deck 2 years ago. 2.5 years ago? I really started to like build on it. I really started to build on like reading cards and reading for other people last year. But I was doing mostly like reading on myself probably for almost a year prior, or like one or two other people. Yeah. What brought me to this journey? So much pain and suffering. To be honest. Like I had, and I won't trauma dump, and I won't go like into too many details, but like I had a journey, and I had lots of diagnoses, lots of things. My body was kind of, I was having surgery after surgery, and um, all of the different things, and I went on a pretty deep healing journey there for about, oh gosh, like 3.5 years, and I finally got to a place where I was like, okay, I've done enough internal work, um, where I was able to heal, mind, body, spirit with food and movement and all these other things, that I was like, I was finally ready to take that and turn it into helping others with all of the knowledge that I've accumulated in my own journey. So it was a culmination of many things that so serendipitously brought me here. I have a little bit more detail of it on my actual like website, on my like about me page. You can kind of read a little bit more if that interests you, but yeah, I really just like, my biggest takeaway, or my biggest like one-liner or two-liner of my message to share with the world is like, we're all connected and you are so loved. Those are, if no one gets anything else from me, is that is the message I wish to share with the world, is that we are all connected and you are so loved. Mm. Yeah. Are you also a healer, operator, Papa, or a reader? What do you do? Mm. I respect that. Yeah. One of the things I heard a lot when I was kind of in the middle of a lot of my trainings too, even while I was healing, taking different trainings and stuff, and it's like, you can only help people as far as you've gone yourself. And to me, that sentiment, that statement has always resonated. I don't know if you're in an ad right now, but if you're not in an ad, where are you focusing your healing right now, if you don't mind me asking? Deconstructing a high-demand faith. I lived under power hierarchies in life, making strides with the help of intuition work therapy, but there's more stones on it. Interesting. High-demand faith. Yeah. Said I want more than anything to learn how to make all the things. Are you fully back yet? I just don't want to talk too much and you not hear my response. I've been using tarot. Beautiful. Is there any place that... Yeah, is there any place that I could be of assistance? Any place, any kind of direction you might be looking for there that I could, you know, point you? No, I'm glad you kept typing through that. Thank you. I was hesitant to like say too much because I wanted to be able to like you hear my response, but thank you for sharing one of my... And you don't need to apologize to me. I try to do the ads so that they only run once an hour. And that's mainly meant for my own reminder to take a break. But I did not, so that's okay. What I was asking was, is there any, like, do you have any questions or areas of information that, you know, I could guide? If... Thank you for the subscription too, by the way. Oh, if it cut out for you, then the Spirit's out here playing games. Spirit likes to mess with technology if I am, like, if something's happening where they're like, nope, never mind. So if you didn't get that question, that's okay. Spirit says you weren't meant to get that question. Because you weren't here in the early days, but in the early days, before I started like having boundaries around who I do readings for, because I now check in, like I make sure I check in with Spirit to be like, are we in alignment to do a reading today? And before I did that, I would just read for anyone. Partially because I was just so excited. I was just like, yay, people, I get to read for people. But I didn't check in right away, and there was one stream where Spirit crashed my stream twice in the same like hour span, and I was like, okay, got it, heard, like, because the stream was like, I had no streaming problems prior to that moment, and it happened during that stream, and then it was fine like the next stream, and then it happened again in like a following stream, and I was like, okay, I got it, you know. I need to check in. And so now I check in, and I have the different boundaries around making sure that I'm I only read and do offerings for people that like we are in alignment to do do an offering. Because it's not I'm not a monkey. Like this is for, yes, sort of entertainment, but it's more like allowing people who are curious to kind of come and explore. Or at least that's my intention, is to allow people who are curious and want to come explore and kind of be like, what is this? And they don't need to, exactly, like they don't need to get a reading if they don't want to. They don't need to identify themselves if they don't want to. But for the people that are interested and the people that are, you know, wanting to heal, wanting to grow, wanting to connect with love, then, and love and light and hope and spirit, like, come on in. The Kool-Aid's great. Too soon? I don't know. That's very. I say that very tongue-in-cheek. I do not wish to. Hmm. Hmm. Oh gosh. Yeah. To be honest, like whenever I was kind of like waking up to my gifts and everything, like that was one of my concerns, is like I don't want to like I don't want to start a cult. I've watched various documentaries, read a ton of different things on cults. Like I am like I don't want that. I don't want to be a part of that. And it was very much in the forefront of my mind. And it's so weird because even like marketing people are like, no, you want like that cult like following for whatever you're like building and doing. And I'm like, okay, do I? Like I don't know. I I don't I don't want you to, like, I don't want people to worship me. I want you to be inspired and empowered to connect to love within yourself. And I want to give you the resources and tools to do that. It's not me, it's not through me. Like, you don't need me. I'm simply just here as a supporting role. I don't know. That's something that I kind of bobble around in my head sometimes, where it's like, and I don't feel like it's, or I bobble it around because it's like this mindset of like, hold on, you said you've trained with, yeah, exactly. I don't know. I don't like, what do I want to say here? I have feelings, but they're in development about um, you know, marketing and wanting people to like come to you, but also not, like, I don't know. I don't typically try to think about it too much because I'm like, I would rather just show up. Like, I'm just gonna show up as who I am, and I'm gonna trust that the right people are going to resonate and connect with that and are gonna like listen in, tune in. And if, you know, you don't tune in, that's fine. Like, yeah. I think that's where I'm coming from. I think that's my end all be all there, is just like, now I'm just gonna be me. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and try to do a marketing strategy, you know, I don't know. just like, this is me. Yeah, you get this. This is I don't know. I was gonna say you get what you pay for, but like it's not even that. It's just like here's you get what you see. Anyway, all that to say, I went on a little tangent there. Yay! Did you treat yourself, Robin? Good. Good. I'm glad. What level of treating yourself? Like, yeah, operator, that's the other fun thing is realizing that we are I think about it as the Holy Trinity, but I think my Holy Trinity you can think of as mind, body, spirit. You could think about it as you know, a higher self, ego self, source. You could do survival mind, spirit, or like survival mind, soul, source. Those are some other to me they all represent the same thing with the Holy Trinity. And so when we are here as humans, you know, we gotta take care of our body. Like we gotta take care of that pillar of the Trinity. We're in the middle of it all. I'm so happy for you. Robin, do you like massages? Have you ever had a massage? I feel like you should go all out on this trip and treat yourself to a massage after the race. Probably after you shower from the race and then after the race. I'm full of great ideas, or should I say I'm full of not a bad idea. Okay. So you race. Well, you know, you said you need to carb load typically for exercising. So get yourself a croissant and a fresh donut. I don't know. I feel like croissant. I'm gonna say croissant. Get yourself a croissant. Maybe even two. Get one with chocolate in it. Get a plain one. Really carb load that day before. Then you race. Yeah. See? I'm with you. Then you race. And then you come back to your hotel, shower, and get a massage. That sounds like a lovely weekend. Can I join? Like, I'm not gonna race, but like, you're making me want to go on a solo little weekend trip just to, I don't know, that sounds nice. I was thinking about going camping in October, just because that's when it'll finally start to cool down around here. But I haven't decided if I'm doing it or not. and if I do, where I'm going. To be honest, my schedule, my calendar, it's like I put a bunch of stuff in my calendar for August and September event-wise, and I have no events for October. I have one in November right now, and I feel not very compelled to put anything in my calendar for October. And to me, that's just like, I don't know, like I feel like something's coming in October, but I don't know what. So I have been given like a date to look out for in October. So we'll just have to see. We'll just have to see what kind of happens. But I don't know. I'm just kind of trying to release any resistance that I might have or any expectations and just be like, all right, let's just fucking wait and see what happens. See what comes. But nothing in October yet feels super like solid, like yes yet. So whatever's coming, whatever's happening is still very much in I wouldn't say it's in limbo, but it's just like the picture hasn't become clear. And that's okay. One thing at a time. I've got quite a few events between now and then to get through, so not even get through, but it's because that makes it sound like I'm like, oh, but it's more like I have quite a few events that I'm like I have coming up that my time and energy is invested in, so which are gonna be good. Oh my gosh. I've got 2 events this weekend. I'm doing different offerings at each of them. And then I got 2 events next weekend. 2 events the following week. Like, it's just like the next 6 weeks is just popping off for Lady Lighthouse over here. Thank you, yeah. And I got my new product. It's coming in the mail. It's supposed to get delivered tomorrow, but based on the tracking, like, they're still in Pennsylvania right now, and we'll see. I'm in Kentucky, so I don't know if it's gonna make it tomorrow or not. But I'm hoping to pick it up from my P.O. box before this weekend. Yeah, so when I go to vending events, so I'm going to like I have 2 different holistic fairs, or like there's a psychic fair at one crystal shop Saturday, and then a holistic fair at a different crystal shop on Sunday. And so the one on Saturday, I'm doing my like mini trapped emotional clearings. And if you're new here, what those are is basically about a 7-minute offering where I tap into your higher self, and I invite any trapped emotion that's ready to be released at this time to come forward, and then relay any information you may need to know about the trapped emotion. And then once I get the like, hey, it's safe to clear from our teams, I'll use Reiki to clear it. So I do those. I'll be doing those Saturday, but those are a lot of energy moving. And so with Sunday, since I'll have 2 back-to-back shows, I'll be doing love readings with my pretty pink love deck. At least that is what Spirit and my guides have said to offer. So that's what we're doing. And then I'll set up like a 4-foot table. Let me see if I have a picture easily accessible. That's got my boundary books and just some little things on it. But it's cute, like. And then in a few weeks, I'll be doing. Here you go. Here's my cuteness. Here's my last setup. Oh my gosh, here you go. Hold on, let me. Does it need to be less bright? Will it focus? I believe. There we go. There I am. Should have a cute little. I got some boundary books. I usually do like a giveaway of some sort at my in-person offerings, and just a cute little table. But I did get a new offering that's coming forward for later this year or later this month. I'll be doing like 5-minute love transmissions, and I haven't made a flyer for those yet, but it basically it's very much like energy work, but it's allowing people to kind of choose how they want to receive love for 5 minutes. So I'll be doing energy work and channeling a bunch of love, which I'm excited for. And also, it could be delivered with words of affirmation. We could hold hands, we could hug, like I could put my hand on your back. It could be a combination. It could be, whatever I intuit feels right to come forward. But the idea is that the person who's like coming to get the love transmission will like get to choose and feel seen and just loved for like divine love. That's what it is, divine love transmission. So I'm really excited to do those because it's just like I love love and I love loving people and like helping people be like seen and feel seen. So I'll be sure to bring my Kleenex to those. You said you've been approached by a patron deity. Take that inspiration. Let the creativity flow. I will say, I recently put a boundary in my boundary book that was basically like, I am not going to pour my time, energy, and gifts towards any offering that people aren't just like super excited to receive, or like I use the word frothing at the mouth just because I liked that phrasing. You could say drooling at the mouth, but I like put that in writing so my team is like, they know that I ain't gonna do something. Like I'm tired of doing these like little one-off things, and like almost like that ADHD brain of like, oh, let's do this, and then 30 minutes in I'm like, and never mind. So now I'm making sure that the offerings that I am bringing forward and doing are are like truly deeply like ready to go, like primed to go. So, and that I'm not creating content that's not like fun or exciting for me, like but yeah, take the inspiration, run with it, see what comes up. Yep. Sometimes, I mean, to be fair, like I did a year, little over a year of just like throwing shit at the wall and seeing what stuck, of like trying different things, and I think that part for me was important. Like I think that was good for me because I learned a lot, and it like helped to bring out the different areas of like what I connected to, what I didn't, where my strengths were, what I had to learn, and I got excited about different things and they flopped, and they all led me here. So and I feel like the shaman activation and everything that has occurred since then, it's like it's flowing. Like the energy is flowing. Everyone, make sure you drink some water. An animal blessing, yay! So this is just a calm check-in with one of the animal companions if they're present, and they are. Let's see. We'll come back to, you said. Yeah, it's a process, operator, just going through the different motions of just try different things. Be open to trying different things. Freya. She is snoozing. Hi, baby girl. Freya. You wanna come say hi? Thank you. Did I wake you from slumber? She now has like one gray whisker on both sides of her mouth now. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Thank you. I don't know why the... Okay. Yeah, the other thing I was going to talk, like, I was thinking about when you shared kind of the tapping intuition is like, I mean, there's so many different ways to connect to spirit, and one of the things for me that really inspired me was like, well, one, I did have a coach, like a spiritual mentor for a bit, and so that was nice and helpful because we got to like practice, and so I really valued practicing. Like connecting with my channel and kind of being in support of someone else who was pretty deeply connected and can kind of like help share energy. Which I will say I now do awakening support, which is in a similar vein, depending on like kind of what you're looking for. But that can come through. I also found a lot of value in just like following different spiritual people for a while and just seeing kind of what they posted and like how they connect to spirit, because the like mini trapped emotional clearing stuff came to me from me watching someone else explore how they use, they'll actually touch the person and they'll do oh, I don't remember what it's called. It's like Mila's touch or something. I think it was her name. But basically she would connect with people's higher selves, and she posted videos. She'd post videos of herself like body testing. And that's kind of where I learned like bodies testing, and I tried it on myself, and then I was learning about like do I have it in the back of one of these where it's like the emotional relief technique chart, which I don't actually end up using this. I printed it out because I felt like I might need it, and maybe I will at some point. But what she would do is when she would connect to your higher self and kind of try to see what trapped emotion was there, she would go through and like body test and do like, okay, is it in chart 1 or chart 2? Is it in column A or B? Is it in row 1 or 2? And then they should go down the list and see what emotion it was. I don't use this because I just get the words. Like, I don't need to go down the list, but it's nice to have the list there. Or at least I learned that I didn't need to I didn't need to go down the list. I did it like once or twice on myself going down the list, and it was helpful for myself. But now when I do connect with people, even virtually here in this space, like I'm one, not body testing you, and two, I just get the word or words. So, but I do feel like, and the kind of overarching sentiment I've been hearing in the spiritual community is like things are shifting. Like where we once needed to be more prescriptive in how we performed our energy work, and how we might need to be more prescriptive in how we channel or connect. It's getting less so that way. Yeah, it's getting less like, oh, you need to, move your hand in this specific way and hold your hand here in this position, or you need to have this specific word or phrase, and it's shifting more into just like the simple like intention or the thought process, or even just like receiving the knowing and sensation that it's like happening. So it is good to start, like it is good to kind of start with the more prescriptive ways, or at least trying them. Like it doesn't hurt to try them, but it is yeah, exactly. Hey baby Evelyn, welcome in. What kind of reading are you looking for? Because you can get a single card for free with spark points, with the channel points, so you can claim that if that's what you're looking for. Or if you're looking for a 8 to 10 minute reading, okay, then all you gotta do is use your channel points to pick a card. But yeah, it's very much just try things. Try different things, see how it feels. Trust the flow, trust what you're experiencing. Tap into your body, tune into your body. I've had such an enjoyable stream tonight, just like chatting about all these different things. So thank you all for sparking the creativity and sparking the conversations. I will probably end here in the next couple minutes, so I will do a final call for any last minute readings, / if you want to throw any points towards the Ask the Ancestors challenge. We're at 96%. We're so close. That's okay. You'll just have to come back again. I was gonna say I'll be on tomorrow at X time, but I don't know if anyone saw my story, but I was like, I just need to stop saying when I'm gonna go live for the next day, because Spirit has other plans when I wake up, to be honest. Yesterday I was like, oh, I'll be on Tuesday. I was like, I'll go dancing Tuesday, and I'll be on like Tuesday afternoon, and then I'll go dancing in the evening. And when I did my morning connection and everything, they're like, no, you should stream at like 8 p.m. I was like, oh, okay. Guess I'm not going dancing then. It's fine. All right. All right. That feels good. It feels complete. So, thank you all for tuning in. If you're new, oh, I love that. Gentle rains and soft paths until then. Thank you. To you as well. What a beautiful sentiment. Um, if you're new, welcome. If you lurked and lingered, glad to have you. Make sure you follow so you get notified when I go live again. Because like I said, the spirit moves me in weird ways. Maybe not weird ways, in fun ways. Um, to show up when it's meant to, when I'm meant to. So, when the timing is right. All right, my loves. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your evening, afternoon, morning, wherever you are, whenever you've tuned in. And we'll talk again soon. I send you all so much love and light. Namaste. Mwah. Bye, my loves.